Good Saturday morning to you. You found Buddy Saturday Sports Page. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz. In a gloomy, overcast Ocala. I know we need rain, but I'm tired of it now.
Especially on the weekends, man.
Joined by J.J. LaSalva. J.J., how was your Friday night?
It was all right. It was early. Called
4 Game 6s last night. You were in NBA heaven, weren't you?
Yeah, but
and
most of the games stunk.
You had said most of these series had stunk.
Yeah. And then they got hot late.
But then
teams started making big
sixes,
comebacks.
All the Game 6s went back to the way the series had been. They stunk.
Yeah. Nobody forced a Game 7. There is a Game 7 tonight, but that Game 6 was played a couple days ago. Nets versus Bulls. Here we go.
And I ask you this question. After watching all 4 games last night.
Wow, that's difficult, considering they were on at the same time.
ESPN, ESPN2. I know you were flipping back and forth.
I didn't watch a second of the Hawks game.
Oh, you didn't?
No. Knicks, Celtics.
I'm surprised anybody even watched a second of that series.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And
I enjoy watching the Pacers play. The Hawks, though.
Well, you know what the Hawks are? The Hawks are a team that's going to win 42 games a year. They're going to finish somewhere 6th or 7th in the division, and they're going to get eliminated in round 1.
Right. That's what they did this year.
If I know that already, why would I even watch? So, after the 4 games last night, did you see any team that advanced that could do anything to scare the Miami Heat?
No. But I saw a team that I think is going to win the West. The Memphis
Grizzlies. You're a big You're on the Memphis Grizzlies bandwagon, aren't you?
They were down 2 games to nothing. I said before the series I thought they were going to win. Came back 4 wins in a row, not just 4 wins in a row, 4 wins by double digits in a row. First time that's ever happened, by the way. Obviously, in the last game, without Blake Griffin playing a lot of minutes, that didn't exactly help the Clippers' cause. Man, Zach Randolph went, I think, for 28 last night.
And trash talked Blake Griffin a little before the game.
Yeah, said it's a big boy game. I have injuries too. Everybody's hurt at this time of the season, so play. He did play. He played about 13 minutes or so, more than Derrick Rose. He's definitely going to play tonight. That just grinds my gears. I can't get over that.
You really just are aggravated with Derrick Rose.
Bothers me, and it hurts the NBA to have a former MVP do something like this.
Well, he says he can't go yet.
I think it's more of a mental issue than it is a physical issue.
He says he doesn't have he says
muscle memory.
He says until he gets back to being the Derrick Rose he was before the injury, he's not coming back. Newsflash, you blew your knee out. You're not going to be the Derrick Rose you were before the injury.
That's why you come back, so you work your way up to where you used to be. But a 70% Derrick Rose is better than what they have, which is Kirk Heinrich on the bench. Luol Deng in the hospital.
With the flu?
Yeah. The ER with the flu. That's never had it that bad.
I've had it that bad. I've been to the ER with 103 temperature. Oh, it's when you have to go to the ER with the flu, you're sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I imagine so.
But
I don't know if he will be playing tonight. If he does, I imagine it wouldn't be very many minutes.
Remember,
but we'll see.
The Bulls, Luol Deng, though, is bucking tradition with the flu in the hospital. Michael Jordan had the flu, 103 temperature.
You know,
threw up insane numbers one night against, I believe it was the Cavaliers. With the flu, was sitting on the bench. They had him wrapped in towels and all. He was shivering, freezing with the flu. I think it was the Cavaliers. May have been the Knicks. I don't remember.
But they say food poisoning. Game 5 in the NBA Finals.
Right, it was the NBA. Oh, it was the NBA Finals?
So was the Jazz.
So but he had the flu. Bad sick. And the great one, the greatest player of all time until LeBron James, finishes his career.
Yeah, the Cavs were already really bad by then. The Cavs are good early in his career when he hit that game-winning jumper against him, but this was 97. They were already on their way to being a horrible franchise.
This was when Karl Malone and John Stockton had no shot at winning. They were like, "Who? What?
Hey, I went to
he quit
game
playing
6.
baseball?
Utah Jazz, Game 6.
Well, Utah was the class of the West back then. He quit playing baseball? What? Why would he do that? Speaking of old basketball players that are commentators now, I love Charles Barkley's description of the Clippers.
Charles Barkley is my favorite basketball analyst, easily. He might be my favorite sports analyst.
He was on your side with the Grizzlies. He said that the softest team in the playoffs were the L.A. Clippers.
Yeah, they do the Lob City thing. You know, they're flashy. But
he said
when you go up against the Grizzlies, you got to be tough.
He said when the Clippers are great when you're looking for highlight reels and getting up and down the court and slam dunking the ball. But when you got to play in a half-court set, when the toughest guy on your team is a 5'10" point guard,
and win a series, yeah,
you got issues. And he said their half-court game was terrible.
That it is. They don't play defense either.
You know what they're doing now?
And Chris Paul, by the way, speaking of their best player, their toughest player, free agent.
You know
July 1st.
Can I tell you this? You know what the Clippers are doing right now? Cleaning out their lockers.
Yeah, that happened last night.
Going to the house.
Playing some golf.
You know where they shouldn't be playing golf right now? Quail Hollow.
That's what I saw.
Good night. This is a $7 million purse golf tournament, and they got greens out there that look like it's a par 3 municipal course.
You know where else you don't want to be? At the Players.
Well, we do need to, the Players right now is underwater. You can't get to the 17th green because the bridge going to the 17th green is underwater. The Players Championship to get underway Monday with practice rounds, but fans will not be allowed to go see the practice round on Monday. Course was too wet because Jacksonville has received over 7 inches of rain in the last 36 hours. So 17, they're trying to keep the water off 17. It's perilously close to being underwater itself. So if you're planning on going out Monday to the practice rounds, which a lot of people do, your tickets will still be honored on Tuesday at the practice round. If you have Monday tickets, they'll still be honored on Tuesday. But there is no fan participation at the practice round on Monday at the Players, which gets underway officially Thursday.
Does Tiger usually not do well with the Players?
Never. Not at all.
Okay. That's the tournament that he left.
Right. That's a tournament that almost got me in big trouble with the PGA Tour. For a video I took of Tiger Woods showing everybody he quit instead of was really hurt. Because he was running upstairs and running downstairs, and I got it all on video because he did it right by me. And then he said, "Oh, I could barely stand up." Yeah, I got you taking 2 stairs at a time in a jog. Stop it. Somebody else needs to stop it? The Atlanta Braves. They came out of the box on fire this baseball season. And now they're terrible.
Well, it's baseball. It's May the 5th.
They're terrible.
4th. The season's very young, my friend. They are in first place in the East. Baseball is very interesting right now. A lot of weirdness going on.
But you know what's not weird? And because of it, this is why it's not weird. All Billy Bean's doing is winning baseball in Oakland.
Always, man.
With a nothing team, a 0 payroll, and they're 17-13. Same record as the Yankees. And the Yankees, JJ gave me a great stat earlier this week. The Yankees disabled list
90-something million dollars.
Is the 15th highest payroll in the league. Their disabled list.
Boston, to me, is the most impressive team this year because nobody expected anything out of Boston, the Yankees.
What's that say about how bad Bobby Valentine is?
Same exact team almost. They have Mike Napoli, who's actually going lights out. Clay Buchholz, who had a little... I guess they're saying that he was using a spitball.
People are saying Clay Buchholz was cheating. Jack Morris said Clay Buchholz... And, let me explain something to you. Jack Morris may know a thing or two about cheating, okay? I mean, he's not Gaylord Perry, but Jack Morris may know... You know who... It reminds me of that movie, Major Leagues. Remember the old pitcher when he said, "I'll tell you what, Vaughn, that arm of yours, it may be a rocket now, but when you get my age, you got to figure out things to do." Remember, he had the Vaseline, he had the paint on his arm.
Clay Buchholz, let's see. Clay Buchholz right now 6-0, 1.01 ERA, .96 walks and hits per inning pitch, and 47 strikeouts. That's a good start to the season, my friend.
That's a pretty good start to the season.
Spitballs or not, that's tough to do.
Well, the Toronto group.
That's who I picked, by the way.
They definitely thought Clay Buchholz was cheating the other night.
Yes.
Both announcers said he's doctoring the ball. We got it on video.
Apparently, him and Saul Telemakia, who is his catcher, pour water on their arms. And I mean that's about all it takes, really. Is rub your arm every inning when it's super wet. So
if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt and it's soaked.
Yeah, that's what they said was another one of them. So
that's all it takes.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't explain Boston's 20-9 record.
Can we talk about Mickey Mantle today as well?
No, we're not talking about Mickey Mantle.
Oh man,
we're not talking about Mickey Mantle. You know why?
Speaking of cheaters in baseball,
you know why?
Because it hurts your old guy's feelings.
No.
All my heroes cheat too.
No, here's the thing. Mickey Mantle has a bat. Well, a bat that Mickey Mantle bat that's been authenticated is up on the auction block. When they were authenticating it, they noticed some strangeness about the barrel of the bat. They did some x-rays. The bat's got cork in it.
Yes.
Now,
which, for people you don't know, it slows the bat speed down, but it still gives you that pop.
Right. But it was never, the auctioneer said, and the authenticator said, we don't know if the bat was ever used.
Never used.
It was used in spring training.
It's like Sammy Sosa's.
It was used in batting practice.
Yeah, this is my batting practice bat.
If Mick used it in the game, if it was just one of his friends playing a prank on him, nobody knows. So JJ saying that Mickey Mantle cheated is erroneous.
I knew that would grind your gears, dude. When I said it yesterday, I read the story Buddy about flipped, man.
Yeah, Buddy was like, what?
That would never happen.
Buddy's like, what? Check your sources.
Yeah. Like, people never cheated back in the day?
Let me explain.
Baseball is a cheater's game.
There are grown men that tear up talking about Mickey Mantle.
Well, George Costanza wanted to name his child Seven.
Yeah, wanted to name his kid Seven because of Mantle. You know what I mean?
Great episode.
But the mixed bat, that's why I don't want to talk about the story too much. I don't get a chance to buy the bat. Wouldn't it be great to have a Mickey Mantle bat
from Mickey Mantle?
Wouldn't it be great to have? You know, and that's the thing.
Which, by the way, this isn't the first time this happened. They've gone back and found bats that have cork in them.
Oh, yeah.
Pete Rose, they found one from the 80s. Sammy Sosa, I remember they went through, like, all his bats.
I remember that bat broke and the cork flew out of it. Here's the thing,
like a bouncer up to the pitcher.
Here's what's the problem with baseball. Here's a 23-year-old. You're 23, right?
Correct.
A 46-year-old. Both of us talking fondly of Mickey Mantle and, well, it's cork bat and everything. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame, no question. Sammy Sosa, cheater, scumbag, get out of the game.
Exactly.
Barry Bonds, cheater, scumbag, get out of the game.
I think that's because they are... We just found out they were cheating.
There are no baseball heroes now.
No.
Baseball.
Chipper Jones, Derek Jeter, players like that.
That's the close, but they're not. But they're not.
Just because they've been, and they're heroes to people in that area.
But let me ask you this: if you had a chance to meet Derek Jeter, would it make you go all squilly legged or anything?
No, I'm not a Derek Jeter fan.
Right.
But Chipper Jones, I would.
You would?
Yeah.
See, because if Hank Aaron walked in right now, I may faint.
That would be awesome.
You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Even you would think it's awesome if Hank Aaron walked in.
Yeah. Well, he's a home run champ.
Chipper, I like Larry. Larry's a good guy. I wouldn't necessarily get all giddy.
Well, childhood heroes, you know.
But my childhood heroes, you understand how great they are, too. Your childhood heroes are just, because baseball's a different game now. Speaking of childhood heroes, one called the show earlier this week.
Yes.
We're going to have that interview next. Earl the Pearl Monroe checked in with us about his new book, and he had some great stories to tell. One about Jerry West not even knowing who he was. We'll listen to that next on Buddy Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. A power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that the important medical research that's being done here right now will impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't know that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. And you can be part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception. We'd like to send an opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Want to quit smoking? Volunteers should be between the ages 18 and 75, current smokers who smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day and are motivated to quit smoking. Qualified participants receive study-related material care and may be compensated for their time. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Welcome back to Buddy Saturday Sports Page. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, along with J.J. LaSalva. Earlier this week, Earl the Pearl Monroe played with Washington as a rookie and then played with the New York Knicks. One of the 50 greatest basketball players of all time in the NBA. He made that great top 50 team. He called into the show to talk about a new book he has out and just to reminisce about the NBA back in the day. This is Earl Monroe.
You know, every now and then you get to talk to people on this program that you've known of and watched play and admired, even from a distance and sometimes up close. And it's a pleasure for me right now to introduce to this program Earl Monroe, otherwise known as Earl the Pearl Monroe, a guy I actually saw play when I lived in New York. And if you've never seen Earl Monroe play, well, you missed it. My pleasure to welcome Earl to the show now, and he's got a new book out. It's called Earl the Pearl Monroe, My Story. Glad to have you, Earl.
Thank you. Thank you much. It's glad to be with you.
I want to share with you that I had a rare moment when I was living and working in New York as a younger sports writer, back when we were both younger, to be at the Garden on that day. I believe it was a Sunday afternoon when the Knicks got a new guard from the Baltimore Bullets. And people wondered, is he going to play? Is he going to play? Or is he not going to play? And he played. And instantly the New York fans fell in love with you and your style. And you and Walt Frazier, what was it called, limousine backcourt or something? What a
Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rolls Royce. There you go. How can I forget Rolls Royce, right? And the ultimate cool. and it was a joy to watch you play. And let's get to the book right off the bat, because it's something I know you're proud of. I found out a few things by skimming through the book, getting a chance to finish it all, about you I didn't know. Of course, you played at Winston-Salem State, which is not exactly, a Duke, and talk about your experience there and playing in the NBA and getting to New York.
Well, going down to Winston-Salem was a little far-fetched for me early on, because I had never heard of Winston-Salem when a gentleman by the name of Leon Whitney came up and asked me if I wanted to go. And I said no at the first time. And then after going to work in a knitting mill for about 4 months, and he came back, and I was anxious to go after that. Got down to Winston-Salem, and I had a Hall of Fame coach down there already, Big House Gaines, and it was a great experience. He was not only a great coach, but also a father figure. And when I got down there, I told the guys that we were going to win a national championship. And everybody kind of laughed at me. But, my senior year, we did win the national championship for college division. And it was a wonderful season. We went 31-1. I averaged over 41 points a game and was player of the year. And that precipitated me being the second pick in the 1967 draft by the Baltimore Bullets.
Yeah, and that started it all. Now, did you have Doug Collins on that team? Was he on that team?
No. On that Baltimore Bullet team, we did have somebody from Duke, which was Jack Marin.
Oh, yeah, I remember, yeah.
We also had Gus Johnson.
Remember Gus Johnson?
Kevin Lockery. And then we added Wes Unsalt and Fred Carter.
Yeah, Lockery was a scrapper, wasn't he? He did die for loose balls.
We called him Murph. And Murph was really a slasher. Didn't care about anybody. He wasn't afraid of anything. And he just went at you.
He was a tough kid. Of course, winning the games and playing and getting the ball, it had to be like a dream for you. You're a Philly guy, and of course you grew up there. But you have your New York is certainly a great place for you to play. I don't know which was more fun, watching the Knicks prosper with you and that team that you had, or watching your style of play. And what you did was something that people criticize players for all the time. You blended your style of play, which is, I don't know what to call you other than a whirling dervish, because I've never seen a guy spin like that in my life. But it fit in the style of the Knicks. How did that work so well?
Well, when I got to the Knicks, I told them that, first to get there, I didn't really want to go. I had given Baltimore a choice of 3 teams that I wanted to be traded to, which were the Lakers, the Bulls, or Philadelphia. When I went to Indiana to look at the Indiana Pacers, I got a call from my agent saying that he had a deal on the table for the Knicks. And it took me a couple of days, to convince me that I should go to the Knicks. But I think one of the things that made up my mind for me was the fact that I was going to go play with Walt Frazier, and I thought we'd make a great backcourt.
A few other names on that squad, not too shabby either. Bill Bradley being one of those who wrote the foreword for your book. Dollar Bill, they call him. He could shoot the eyes out of it, couldn't he?
Absolutely. We had not only a great team, we had 6 Hall of Famers on that team. We also had 2 Rhodes Scholars on that team with Bill Bradley and Jerry Lucas. Of course, Dave DeBusch, who had already been a coach at age 24 with Detroit in the league. Of course, we had Willis Reed, the captain, Clyde, Dick Barnett. I could just go down the line. And then there was a budding coach that was sitting down on the bench there that would come in and play defense. And
Phil Jackson.
Lift every now and then. Phil Jackson.
Had the 3-inch leap on the jumper.
But he had a long arm.
He did have the long arm, for sure. I remember it well. Absolutely. Fun. Red Holzman, how special is he?
Well, Red was a guy that, really understood the game. And I think because he was a player, he understood how to handle players. And he was a joy to play for because he let you know exactly what he wanted, and he demanded those things, and the team was basically a reflection of him and his attitude. And, one of the things I liked about him was that he never criticized his players in public. He might curse you out in the locker room, but in public, never criticizes, and I think that bodes well for him.
Well, it was a great ride for you because you got a chance to win a ring and go on and have a great career there and enjoy your time with your teammates. Are you guys close? Do you actually email and call each other now and then? Do you see those guys at all?
Well, I see the guys here in New York, mostly Clyde and Bill Bradley. Willis, I give him a call every now and then. He's retired in Louisiana. Jerry Lucas, also talk with him, quite a bit. Dean Meminger, another member of that team, we talk a bit. And Henry Bibby, who's also a coach with the Memphis Grizzlies, we always stay in contact. So, yeah, we were a pretty, close-knit team. And the fact that we just had our 40th reunion of the last championship team at the Garden a couple weeks ago, and all the guys came back, and, we were almost like we were the day that we left. I actually spoke for the team at the Garden, and as I'm walking by, I hear, "You only have a minute and a half. This is Phil Jackson." And he takes out his stopwatch. And as I'm speaking, he's looking over at me saying, 35 seconds, 20 seconds.
Give me a shot clock, wasn't it? That's fine. Dave DeBusschere, people don't know how good a forward he was. I mean, you talk about your top 10 forwards. Doesn't he have to be mentioned right in there someplace?
Absolutely. Dave was one of the great defensive forwards in the league. He had a great shot from outside, and he was a good rebounder as well. And he's just a tough guy. And anytime that you want to start a team, you want to have a guy like Dave DeBusschere on that team.
Yeah. Tell me this before we have to let you go. I know you got things to do. First of all, it's Earl Monroe, and the book's called Earl the Pearl, My Story. It's a Quincy Probst, is that his name?
Troop.
I'm sorry, Probst, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy Troop, yeah. And he wrote the book with you. And what I liked about the description by Bradley in the forward, and you mentioned it later on, is you actually didn't know what you're going to do when you had the ball and you went up in the air. That true?
Well, pretty much. I mean, in the air, I knew what I was going to do, but when I was on the floor, I didn't. Because, you shake and bake and, fit one way and the other way. And whichever way the defensive man goes determines which way you're going to go. So I never really knew which way he was going to go, but once I figured it out, I would go the opposite way.
Your most memorable night. I know you scored a bunch of points. I think you got an enormous amount of points against the Lakers one night and a half, didn't you?
Yeah,
ton of points.
Well, we had a great shootout against the Lakers my rookie year. I scored 56 points in that game, and it was the first time that I guess Jerry West had seen me play. And all during the game, he was calling me Ben. There was a guy I remember named Ben Monroe who had played at New Mexico State, and that's who he probably thought I was. And after the game, he came up and he shook my hand and said, "Good game, Earl." So I felt as though I was being welcomed into the NBA.
He knew your name then, didn't he? And it's in his memory. Speaking of memory, is it true Jerry Lucas could memorize the entire New York City phone book?
Well, he did it on Johnny Carson's show. He memorized the first 500 pages of the Manhattan phone book. But he was always, his whole thing was about mathematics, and everything was built on that scenario. And we would be walking, and he would say 35. And he said, "Well, 35, what do you mean?" "The 35 steps from here to here." He would just come up with numbers and didn't tell you what it was.
What a fascinating conversation, and looking forward to finishing the book. Can't wait to read all about it, get a chance to watch you play. And what are you doing now? And a quick comment on the best player in the game right now. What are you doing?
Well, I've got a company, Reverse Spin Entertainment Group, and we do music, mostly entertainment, but we do music, but we're doing film now. I happen to produce a documentary called Black Magic and won a Peabody Award for that. And so we've gotten more into doing documentaries. We have a soccer documentary that's coming out called Can We Kick It? And I also represent people like chefs. We're getting ready to shoot a sizzle reel now for Chef Dawn, who is looking to do a reality cooking show. So, it keeps me busy around here. And obviously in New York, it's always, always like that.
Absolutely.
But the best player in the game, obviously, is LeBron James.
Gotta be, right?
LeBron James is just a special player, and I enjoy looking at him and watching him play.
Yeah, you think he'll be better than Jordan someday?
Well, I think, it's a different parallel there because Jordan was more of a finesse player, but LeBron, he twitches finesse in with power. And so it's a little bit different. But I must add, in my overall opinion right now, the best player ever played this game is Wilt Chamberlain, who still has 90 records on the books and hasn't played in 40 years.
Amazing. It's been my pleasure, Earl. I appreciate you coming on the program.
Thank you much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, Earl the Pearl Monroe. His new book is out called Earl the Pearl, My Story. Thanks a lot.
That was Earl Monroe earlier this week. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm just sick over Quail Hollow and the Greens. I'm going to talk about that. Plus, we'll get you ready for the second round of the NBA playoffs. JJ will bring us up to date on that. And JJ's in peril. I just found out that his favorite football team may go down to a lower division, whatever that means. We'll try to get him to explain that next on Buddy Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Force bank approval. Vehicle purchase process fixed trade allowance.
So, whoosh! That's the sound of my broom working overtime, because this month I'm sweeping the streets of Ocala to rid the city of old clunkers so you can drive a nicer, newer car today.
Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. Right now, I'll give you a lot more over your appraised value for your old car. Even if you're still making payments, even the worst clunkers qualify, and nice cars too. So trade up to a clean car today.
Plus, my sweeping is keeping the bankers from sleeping, because my For the People credit approval process gives my banks and lenders more opportunity to help good people like you.
So wave goodbye to that old car you're stuck in and say hello to a bright and shiny, nicer, newer car today. Get a lot more over appraised value for your old car.
Even if you're still making payments, trade up to clean up today.
Hurry, once I get rid of 57 cars, this auto makeover is over. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people. Visit me at Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or Bellevue.
Or call 694-1234. See your Prestige!
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills. Just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Up to 20% of the brain's cerebral cortex consists of the same fatty acids found in fish, like salmon, tuna, and sardines. The number of ER visits due to caffeine overdoses, they've skyrocketed in the past decade. A growing number of victims are teenagers who consume so many energy drinks. People who are around animals every day, they feel healthier. They're also, get this, 21% less likely to develop colds and flu.
On the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
This weather forecast brought to you by Tri-County Generators, 1-800-622-1957. Don't get caught with your power down. Call Tri-County Generators now, 1-800-622-1957.
Back on Buddy Saturday Sports Page, I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, along with JJ LaSalva. Let's get right into this football problem, JJ. So the Buffalo Bills are going to get relegated to
I wish.
Semi-pro?
See, that's the thing about being an American football fan is when your team stinks, they don't kick you out of the ACC. They don't kick you out of the NFL. You get to start over next year with a 0-0 record.
Which is great.
Yeah. But
so you're not talking about your Buffalo Bills. Okay, the Miami Hurricanes.
No. They don't get kicked out.
The Miami Hurricanes have to go to NAIA. That's their penalty for the NCAA violation.
I wish we could win some championships. But, no, in soccer, European soccer, if your team finishes the bottom 3, they get moved to a lower division.
Now, is that just in England?
That's in every country except for the United States, including South America, including Asian countries.
Yeah, well, you know why it's not that way in this country?
Because we're different.
Because they would relegate the entire MLS to a lower division. Wait, the world has already done that.
Yeah, we're also the only people that have, like, playoffs like that. But, yeah, so my team has about 3 games left, and they are
perilously close to
5
falling
points above the relegation zone, which you get 3 points for a win, so they're really not far
so they're
off.
Right there at the Mendoza line.
Yeah, so it's more stressful than being in a bad relationship almost. Just being in a bad relationship with a team you love. So
that's and you've never been to Europe to see this team play?
I haven't, but I will one day.
You're kind of crazy that way. I just can't get into a sport that the score is 0-0 or 1-0. However, as I said during the break, I'm kind of hypocritical that way because I love to see 2 pitchers throw like a 2-hitter 1-0 game.
Yeah, gems.
Yeah, I love that. And I can sit there and people say that's as boring as watching paint dry. But I love that kind of baseball game. But a soccer game like that, I got nothing for. If you're not, if a soccer game is like 8-6 or something, I'd be all right with that.
Indoor soccer.
Yeah, indoor soccer is a great game. So they use that big green tennis ball that they kick around. It's great.
Tennis ball.
No, back in the 80s when indoor soccer, there was an pro indoor soccer league.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there was. They actually used a soccer ball, that was green like a tennis ball.
Okay.
The yellow like a tennis ball. And
to stand out and be different.
Yeah, and it was a softer ball, too. It wasn't a regular soccer ball. It was actually a softer ball so that, people didn't get hurt. Because kids were taking that almost caught on. Indoor soccer in the 80s. High schools were having indoor soccer teams.
There's still
and everything.
Indoor soccer probably up north all over the place. Just like, why would you need it here?
Well, we got arena football. Why you need soccer? Because that's where they played it. Just like they did arena football on that little bitty floor that they play arena football.
Basketball stadium.
Right. It's a small court. Small pitch, I guess, is the proper usage, right?
You're right.
It's a pitch. I don't really understand that either.
Let's get away from soccer. You want to talk boxing or NBA? Which one do you want to do?
Well, we got to talk NBA because the second round of the playoffs, where the playoffs really start to matter, are about to take place.
Still one game left.
One game in the first round, but neither of those teams has a shot at winning the championship.
No.
So break down the West for us. Who's in the second round of the West?
So Thunder moved on last night as well as the Grizzlies. They will be playing each other. So that is very
interesting. The Thunder are eliminated now.
We might see what the Thunder got without Westbrook against a real good team in the Grizzlies.
And I like Marc Gasol. He unlike his brother, is tough.
He's the Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA.
He's not
way
soft
better than
like his brother.
In the other Western Conference series, San Antonio, who hasn't played since March, they play Golden State.
That's pretty good. I hadn't played since March. I had to think about it. I was like, wait.
The Heat also, who haven't played in a long time, they also swept their series. They play the winner of tonight's game, 8 o'clock between the Bulls and the Nets. It's kind of hard to pick. I like the Nets to go through, but you never know with Game 7s. And the other Eastern Conference semifinal, Knicks versus Pacers in a rematch of some of the best playoff series I've ever seen as a kid. Knicks and Pacers. That was where it's at almost every year.
That was
Reggie Miller, Patrick
Ewing, Spike Lee,
Mark Jackson. Awesome, man. Those were classic series when I was a kid. Obviously different players, whole different teams, whole different Knicks team for sure. First series the Knicks have won yesterday since 2000. A franchise that hasn't won an NBA title in, what, 40 years?
They hadn't won it since 72, I think.
Yeah. So all those things that we were talking about with Earl Monroe.
Yeah.
That's,
he was
that's
on the last,
old school Knicks.
Earl Monroe was on the last Knicks team to win a title.
Exactly.
And New York is still thought of as the mecca of basketball. But their pro teams are terrible, usually.
But they got the Nets in it this year, playing well, so who knows, man? Maybe New York is back.
As long as they're South Beach, they got no shot.
So with the playoff tree the way it's looking like it is, I like the Grizzlies to move on. I like the Spurs to move on. I like the Heat to move on. And I like the Pacers over the Knicks.
I think that's a pretty good call. I think the Pacers are one of those teams that nobody gives any credit to because they play in a division that has LeBron in it. So nobody knows how good Indiana really can be. Last year, you got me.
Well, they just play in Indiana. Like, there's not.
Which, by the way, is another mecca of basketball.
Yeah, but ESPN doesn't exactly show them love.
No.
TNT doesn't show them love. They don't get games broadcast on national TV. So a lot of people don't know who the Paul Georges of the world are. These guys can really play.
Who's he?
Exactly. Watch this series. I think Indiana.
Is Danny Granger still on that team?
6 or 7 games. Yeah, but he doesn't. He's hurt. He doesn't play.
Danny Granger's hurt. Wow.
Yes.
Out for the season?
Hasn't played in a very long time. So.
Last year, that's what got me. You got me watching Indianapolis and Indiana in the playoffs last year because of Danny Granger. Remember, people actually thought they had a chance to beat the Heat last year in the playoffs.
Well, they had a lead on the Heat.
I know they did. And then the Heat said, okay.
One-game lead.
The Heat said, okay, enough of that.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. Is this one of the most anticlimactic NBA seasons for you? Because you're an NBA fan. You watch the NBA. Anti. Because there's really almost everybody.
No, this has been a horrible season
for
the NBA.
And almost everybody agrees.
And especially with the superstars getting hurt. Like Buddy is always saying, every single team, it seems like, their superstars hurt. Or at least one of them on the team. That's not good for the game, especially in the playoffs. When you have Boston looking like not Boston, without Rondo. And when you have the Clippers, they don't have their second best player, superstar.
Wait for
Danny
it, folks.
Granger.
Wait for it, folks. He's going to get around to it. Keep going. You're going to get around to it. He will eventually.
Oh, Derrick Rose.
There he goes. See, there he goes.
The Lakers with Kobe, Nash. It's just a mess.
Well, I'd forgot the Lakers were even in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. That's sort of a slap in the face.
I literally had forgotten that the Lakers were even in the playoffs.
They haven't played in a long time. Like I said, March. But we'll see. Right now, the season stunk, but the playoffs in the first round were very good.
But before we go to break, I want you to answer this question. Is the only way the Miami Heat is the only thing that could cause the Miami Heat to lose the NBA championship
injury to LeBron.
Is LeBron James getting hurt?
That's the only way.
That's the only way. We're in agreement with that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's May Day. You thought that was May 1st. It's not. It's tonight. It's May Day. We'll tell you what that means next on Buddy Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source. Are you looking for a trustworthy auto care company that won't sell you something you don't need? Look no further than Affordable Auto Air and Care. Affordable Auto Air and Care has serviced Ocala for a decade and is family owned and operated. They offer quality parts at affordable prices, and they even include a 1-year or 12,000-mile warranty on their parts and labor. Their certified technicians work on any type of vehicle, even RVs. They specialize in auto AC, but they also offer oil changes, brake service, filters, tune-ups, shocks, axles, complete auto repair. Affordable Auto Air and Care is located at 1841 Northwest 4th Avenue on the corner of Old Jacksonville Road and 441. Call 352-401-0011 to book an appointment. That's 352-401-0011. Affordable Auto Air and Care. Complete auto repair. Take it from me, Tom Schmitz. I'm a customer.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
We're back on Buddy's Saturday Sports Page. It's May Day. We're going to tell you what that means just in a moment, but it is also the 139th Run for the Roses this afternoon at Churchill Downs. This is horse country, and we are so lucky on this show to have Michael Compton, a horse thoroughbred racing expert.
Also Augie Griner Jr.,
a very well-versed horseman himself. And then, of course, Buddy, who, he knows about as much about horses as you and I do. But they made their picks for the 139th running of the Kentucky Derby. And I've got the morning line, I got the lines right here in front of me, the most up-to-date lines. We'll see when we come back from listening to this clip how they did against the favorites.
Before we get Michael on, real quick, let's go past the field there and just grab 2 or 3 horses that look good to you and comment on whether you like Normandy Invasion or anything.
That's
about
my horse right there. Is Normandy Invasion.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know. I just kind of latched onto this horse and just have a hunch about him, and even though he hasn't won his last couple races, he's kind of been closing real good. He's got a good pedigree. He's been training phenomenal up in Churchill Downs. I mean, he's like one of those kind of buzz horses up there by the way he's been training.
Right today, you can change your mind between now and Saturday. Who is the horse you think is going to win the Kentucky Derby, Michael?
Well, what I'm doing is sticking with the horses that we bet in the future book.
There you go.
That's, my horse that I liked last year, and I think we touched base on this horse last time when Augie was on, and Normandy Invasion. I have to stay with him because he was a horse I liked as a 2-year-old. He hasn't quite matured.
So they both, Augie and Michael Compton, both like Normandy Invasion.
Buddy likes Golden Sense.
Buddy does like Golden Sense, but only because Michael put a futures bet on him. But the morning line favorite right now, Revolutionary, 5-1.
So it was Orb.
Orb is at 7-1 now. Normandy Invasion, 7-1. Golden Sense, 6-1. It's My Lucky Day, the horse that I'm going to put a little wager on, 9-1. Verrazano, who Buddy gave us a great backstory, 9-1. But you want to make some money, JJ? Here's how you make money. You go put a $2 bet on Falling Sky, Will Take Charge, and Lines of Battle. No, Giant Finish. Go Giant Finish, Falling Sky, and Will Take Charge. And get a $2
But
box.
what do I bet? I don't really
Here's what you
understand
do.
how you box.
Here's what
and
you do.
stuff
You go
like that.
you go get the trifecta box. Okay, that's what you do. It's $2 bet.
So it's
and then
when-
it's a $6 bet. And then if any of those three horses come in first, second, and third, it doesn't matter the order they come in, you're going to win a pile of money.
Okay.
Because that's the 39 to 1, 38 to 1, and 30 to 1.
Right.
Three
Long shots.
Yeah. That's how you for the average person that doesn't know much about racing, that's how you make money in racing. You go make a $6 bet and you're never going to hit it. But if
But when
you
you
do, and if you really want to make money, take and throw
It's like
lines
throwing-
of battle in there at 33 to 1 for a superfecta and hit all four
It's
of them.
basically like having like a 6-game parlay on a Sunday
It's
afternoon.
exactly like that.
You're not going to hit it.
You're not going
But
to
if
hit
you
it,
do-
but if you do,
Yeah.
it's kind of like buying a Powerball ticket. You're not going to hit it, but if you do. So the 139th Run for the Roses starts in 7 hours, 32 minutes, and 19 seconds. 17 seconds. 15 seconds. So get ready for the fastest, most thrilling 2 minutes in sports.
I'm
And
looking forward to something else tonight.
JJ would really like to watch the Kentucky Derby if
I
he
would.
could get an exact time it
Yeah,
starts.
that's my problem. They need to let me know the exact time
Somebody-
because I don't like if I change over to it, I don't know which race
started,
this
if
is.
it- right.
You know what's going on.
JJ wants somebody at Churchill Down. Call JJ LaSalva, please, and tell him exactly when they're
Yeah.
in the gate for the 139th Run for the Roses.
Yes.
Kicking off Triple Crown season, and we're all over it here at WOCA, Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin, Buddy Sports Page, Buddy Saturday Sports Page, with Michael Compton, expert horseman, much better at this than we are. So I may go listen to him with Normandy Invasion. Now tonight, there is a guy that's going to make $32 million without betting on a racehorse.
Yes, he might bet on a horse today as well.
Floyd
He's known to do
Mayweather
that.
Jr. guaranteed $32 million before he ever steps into the ring tonight.
Not talking about pay-per-view.
His punching bag tonight, $3 million guaranteed.
Yeah, Robert Guerrero,
whose best thing is his dad at the weigh-in.
Well, he beat Andre Berto. He's beat Casitas before. Casamayor, if you know who these people are. But
I do.
They're all very average, welterweight contenders. This is the best fighter in the world, Floyd
Pound
Mayweather
for
Jr.
pound, the baddest man on the planet.
And hasn't fought in a year, just got out of prison.
For, by the way, domestic abuse.
60 days or 30-something days or something like that. So Guerrero's father gets on the podium during the weigh-ins or the
and goes
whatever it
East
was.
LA on him.
And called him woman beater, wife beater, multiple times. You would think old school Floyd Mayweather would have had something to say.
Old school Floyd Mayweather may have knocked Daddy out.
But, the new, more mature Money Mayweather just kind of sat there with a little grin on his
With
face.
a little grin on his face.
Didn't have anything
Thinking
to say.
inside his brain, I'm going to beat your boy to
Yeah,
death.
well, that's what he said. He was quoted. He said, "I don't have to fight him. I don't have to fight his father."
All his dad did was bulletin board material.
Right.
I'm going to beat your boy to death.
But yeah, Floyd is expected to make at least $32 million.
He's guaranteed $32 million.
That's not counting
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, which there's supposed to be over 1 million pay-per-view buys, and that's around $60. So you do the math.
That's $60 million.
And when you're only having to break Guerrero off $3 million, that's less than 10% of the purse.
I know.
And he could win the fight and still only make $3 million.
Now let me explain something to you though. Golden Boy Productions is going to get a little cash.
Oh yeah.
Oscar.
No, Golden Boy. Yeah, Oscar
Oscar's
is doing
gonna
that.
get a
You're right,
little-
because Golden Boy
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Oscar was on the podium the
Yeah.
other day.
Golden Boy, Oscar's going to make a little bit.
This is the first fight. Yeah, Golden Boy Promotions. This is the first fight that Mayweather has had in a long time outside of HBO.
Right.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So this is sort of a big deal in the boxing world that the biggest fighter in the world, switched to Showtime boxing, because mostly, everybody knows HBO.
So if you can't afford to get the pay-per-view tonight. There are
go
places,
to a bar.
There are places around the area showing it, or you can just wait till next Saturday and Showtime will have it on.
Yeah, for free, or like tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. But yeah, he's coming off the Miguel Cotto fight, unanimous decision, 12 rounds. Victor Ortiz, the fight before that, when he was headbutted and then hugged before he knocked him out. And
Floyd Mayweather's going to walk over this guy.
And of course, before that, Shane Mosley, where he
got
knocked a little bit.
Sugar Shane rocked him a little. Sugar had his knees weak a little bit, but he's been he said it's the best camp ever, and his dad and uncle were in camp both together, and that hasn't happened in a long time. Floyd Mayweather Sr.
13 years, I think.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather Sr. hasn't always been close to Floyd Mayweather Jr.
But I read something, I guess he did a lot of sitting down and thinking in prison, so he's a family man now.
So make sure you check that out. What you don't need to check out today, the Wells Fargo tournament at Quail Hollow. Are you kidding me? The number 8 and number 10 greens had to be resodded 2 days before. Not patches, the entire greens. Number 12 and number 13 are almost unputtable. They've got big chunks missing out of them. This is a PGA Tour event. Are you kidding me? It looks like they're playing in my backyard around the oak tree that I just had cut down. Are you kidding me? PGA Tour needs to do a better job than that. For JJ LaSalva, I'm Tom Schmidt saying have a great weekend, everybody.